Hello guys, welcome back to Cam's Global Homes. Today I'll be telling you about the hidden cost in construction. Many people budget only for blocks, cement and roofing, but several hidden costs can increase the total project cost significantly. These unexpected expenses are one of the main reasons why projects get abandoned or delayed. There are common hidden building costs, which number one is land documentation and legal fees. Beyond buying a land or a piece of land, you may still pay for, we have the survey planning, we have the deed of assignment, we have the certificate of occupancy, we have lawyer fees, governor's consent, we have the registration fees, we have the agency, community fees, and in Lagos, documentation alone, just in Lagos, can cost millions depending on your location. And when we speak of depending, there are high-rise areas. And we have number two, building approval fees. Many people forget that planning permits fees, environmental fees, signage fees, stage inspection fees, handled by agencies like Lagos State Physical Planning, we have the Permit Authority, we have number three, soil test and structural design, especially important in swampy or coastal areas. The cost includes we have the geotechnical investigation, we have the structural calculations, we have the engineering report. Then skipping these can create expensive future problems. Number four, site preparation. Unexpected expenses may include clearing. We have the sand filling for places that are swampy or filled with water. You have to sand fill. We have the dewatering. Wow. We have the excavation. We have demolition of old structures in case you're buying with building on it. We have the flood prone areas usually cost more to prepare. Then we have number five, which is foundation upgrades, which weak soil may require raft foundation. We have the piling, we have more extra reinforcement, we have the deeper excavation. This can drastically increase a lot of cost. Utility related hidden costs. We have, the electrical cost, people often underestimate. We have the conduit piping, we have the wiring, we have the breaker panels, we have the transformers for larger projects. We have the generators or the inverters to give light. We have the light fittings. Then number seven, plumbing and drainage, which includes the borehole, which is necessary. We have the water treatment, which is also necessary. We have the septic tank, which is very important. We have the soakaway, which is also more than important. We have the pumping system. Finishing cost, that's the biggest surprise area. We have the number eight, interior finishes. Finishing can consume 40 to 60% of the total budget. If you're building, you have to consider a lot of things just to avoid regrets. Example, we have the tiles, we have the POP ceiling, we have the kitchen cabinets, we have the wardrobes, we have the sanitary wares, we have the painting, we have the lighting features, we have the luxury finishes, which increases cost rapidly. So with this highlighting, I'm sure you will not be able to make mistakes that other previous builders actually made. We have number nine, which is the doors, the windows, the glass, many budgets ignored. We have the burglary proof, we have the tempered glass, we have the aluminium profiles, imported doors. If you are actually importing, we have the labor and management costs. Of course, people that actually carried it, the people that are going to fix it, they will be paid. We have the professional fees for the architect. That's the person that is giving you the drawing. We have the engineer who is supervising everything. We have the quantity surveyor who weighs and gives you the accurate number of things that you're using for your project. We have the project manager. We have the builder, which usually is up to 5 to 15% of the project cost. We have the security and site welfare. Of course, you need security to oversee the things that are on your site. Ongoing expenses, the site security, labor accommodation, because the laborers, you need to give them a place to stay, and of course you're paying for those things too. Temporary toilets that you'll be digging that will cost you. We have the diesel, water supply, inflation and price increases. We have the material price in Nigeria, prices of cement, we have the reinforcement steel, we have the diesel, we have the aluminium, which can change suddenly. That's the prices can actually change, because if you go to the market today, it's possible that the price you're getting is cheaper. Then when you go tomorrow, it has gone up. So this affects long-term projects heavily, because what you're buying this month may be what you're not buying next month. We have the external works, which are often forgotten. We have the external infrastructure, which includes the fencing, we have the interlocking, we have the landscaping, we have the drainage, we have the gatehouse. Most of these things are often forfeited or forgotten when you're highlighting your costs in building. We have the street lighting, which is very, very important. Emergency and contingency costs, unexpected events, we have the theft. Most times people will steal, and then you have to redesign, because at some point when you're building, you end up not liking what you're seeing, you redesign. We have the weather damage, weather damage. We have the construction mistakes, we have equipment breakdown, a lot of things. A contingency fund is essential. Recommended contingency budget, experts usually recommend. This point is very, very important, and I ask that you take note. They recommend 10 to 20% extra reserve. Example, 50 million naira project, just keep 5 million to 10 million contingency, just in case. There are more extra funds needed. Then the smart ways to control hidden costs. You have to prepare detailed BOQ, that's bill of quantities. You have to hire qualified professionals. You have to avoid frequent design changes and monitor materials carefully. You have to buy quality materials early, so that as early as possible. You have to track your weekly expenses. Most important lesson, the actual building structure is often only part of the total project cost. Your finishing, your approvals, your utilities, and external work, that's where budget fails. So building in Lagos can drain money fast if you only budget for blocks, cement, roofing, and labor. The biggest financial mistake usually come from the unplanned costs that show up during construction. Here are the most common hidden costs people face when building in Lagos. And this part is very, very important. Number one, you have to consider your land documentation and verification. Many people buy land without fully checking the government acquisition issues, the excision of gazette validity, which is very, very important. They even forget to do the Omonile disputes issues, the boundary problems, the governor's consent processing. Fixing title issues later can cost millions. Some buyers also discover the land cannot legally be built on, which is probably at the point when they've already started doing a lot of budgeting and costing as well. The number two thing to consider is the soil test and foundation surprises. This is one of the biggest hidden expenses in Lagos, especially in Lekki, Ajah, Songotedo, Chevron axis. Soft, swampy soil may require the piling, the raft foundation, extra filling, more reinforcement. Foundation costs can double unexpectedly depending on soil condition. All of these things are to put into consideration. Then number three, we'll have the sand filling and site preparation. Many plots in Lagos need swamp reclamation, the additional sharp sand, the compaction, the clearing, excavation. People often ignore this during budgeting. Number four, government approvals and levies. You may pay separately for building approval, environmental fees, fence permits, drainage permits, the LASBCA inspection, the development levy. Skipping approval can lead to sealing or demolition. So we have number five, the inflation and material price increase. In Nigeria, prices can change weekly, even in a second, in a minute. So you have to be very careful when you're doing all of these things. The cement, the iron rods, aluminium roofing, electrical cables. A project's budget prepared today may become useless in 3 to 6 months. Experts recommend keeping 10 to 20% contingency funds. So we have number six, the labor waste and theft. Hidden labor costs include rework from poor workmanship, material theft on site, paying workers for idle days, multiple artisans clashing. Without supervision, wastage becomes very, very massive and it increases by the second. We have number seven, which is the borehole and water supply. Most areas require borehole drilling, water treatment, pump installation, tank stand. Rocky areas can increase drilling costs unexpectedly. We have the number eight, the electricity connection. People forget the cost of transformer contribution, pole installation, wiring upgrades, generator inverter setup. Then we have number nine, security costs. During construction, you may actually be in need of site security, the gatekeeper, fencing before building starts. This becomes important in developing areas. Number 10, we have the drainage and flood protection. Flood-prone zone may require elevated foundation, to avoid water disturbing you and the rest of it. The drain construction, interlocking, retaining walls, ignoring drainage in Lagos can destroy the building later. So we have number 11, which is the interior finishing upgrades. This is where many budget collapses. We have the POP ceilings, the imported tiles, smart locks, kitchen cabinets, wardrobes, glass railings. Finishing alone can consume 35 to 45% of total building costs. Number 12, we have the professional fees, which is separate payment that may go to architect, structural engineer, quantity surveyor, builder. These are often not included in contractor estimates. Then we have number 13, which is the transportation and logistics, which fuel costs affect material delivery, labor transport, crane hiring, truck movements. So these things are also very much to be considered. Bad roads in developing areas increase logistic expenses. We have the number 14, the temporary accommodation and feeding. If you supervise the project yourself, there are transport, there are feeding of workers, which is very, very, very important. Depending on your agreement with them, we have the site visits, which you fuel your car, you pay transport, the temporary accommodation, all quietly add up. Have number 15, which is family and social pressure in Nigeria. Builders sometimes face unplanned financial assistance requests. People will come up with their own problems, family problems, have the ceremonial spending, have the pressure to upgrade the project. This indirectly costs a lot of delay in projects. Smart ways to reduce these hidden costs. Do soil tests before buying land. Use a detailed bill of quantity, which is very, very important. Get a quantity surveyor who will do that for you. Keep 15 to 20% contingency funds. Buy materials in bulk early. Use verified professionals. Supervise this site consistently. Avoid changing designs midway. A lot of stalled building in Lagos are not caused by lack of money alone. They happen because a lot of changes appear along the line. So guys, these are the various facts that one needs to consider when you want to build. consider the hidden costs, save up some cash, keep it in a separate account for some of these expenses, and then you come back and thank me later. Thank you for watching us today and have a nice day. Bye.